me kind of get you up to speed. Well, first, what I'm currently working on right this minute is I'm putting a JDM rear bumper on. So it's a bit involved in that it's not meant to on this car. So it is, but it isn't, right? So normally there's a bracket that's spot welded here that holds on a license plate holder, but Matt did buy this crash bar that has these brackets on there, so hopefully that lines up where it needs to be. I'm assuming it will. So there are some metal pieces, backers that go in here. I had to drill all the rivets out. They attach to this piece, which I need to take out next. I have to take out the wiring harness. These are eliminated because we don't use these in the JDM bumper, so these just get removed and tied up. I'll take the bulbs out, tape them up. So all that has to transfer over to this bumper cover. I have to re-rivet all those pieces back in. What else is there? Oh, there's some other brackets. There's a bracket that holds the license plate lights in. They're the little lamps, and there's bulbs for those too. That I don't know if Matt bought those, but anyhow, that gets screwed to the bumper cover. That's all the parts over here. Matt ordered these parts from Japan. Oh, that bumper crash bar had to come out. That used to be here, so that's gone. Had to pull the liner and all this stuff out of the trunk because some of the bolts are in the trunk hidden. So what I'm doing is it's these pieces are part of the bumper. So I had to drill all the rivets out, and then I come over here with my punch. That's what all this stuff is. These are and I knock out the rest of the rivet. I drill it down just enough that I can knock it out with the punch. So that's what these are. We made a bit of a mess of Maddie's work environment here. So he's on vacation in San Diego, visiting Sam the cooking guy. I hope he should be. Anyway, no, he's down there on work. Anyway, so these are not used. These brackets would normally go where the JDM, if it was a JDM car, these would go there, and that bracket that I mentioned that would be spot welded to the car's body, this would get bolted to that, but I don't know why Matt bought two. I have no idea. We don't even need one, but you know, Matt likes to make sure we have everything. So this is the bracket I was talking about that gets these lights. These pop in there. So that gets screwed into the bumper. This flapper deal looks like it's about this size, so I assume it goes in this area here. Yeah, it must go here. So anyway, and then we have this piece. This piece goes to the one side of the bumper. I don't know if I'm gonna rivet that or screw it in or whatever. But anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. But previous to that, I had to pull the bumper cover back off. This will probably be one of about 40 times. Had to pull this carbon fiber piece back off. Oh, I relocated the module for the fan. Remember the fan module bolted to the old radiator? Well, since we took the air box out, there was plenty of room here, so I ended up bolting it right to the front of the car, to the subframe there, or frame rail, I guess you'd say. So that's now relocated, and that's a good spot for it. I will say I had one problem this morning. I'm almost done with the catch can, and they sent this fitting. This goes into the engine block underneath the turbo. Can you zoom in on that, Michael? So this piece, it's a straight thread with a crush washer because it was just a bolt that went in there. So what happened is I got everything done. I pulled the bolt out, started putting this in. You're supposed to tighten it until the crush washer meets the block. Well, it was a little galled or something. The threads must have been a little nicked because it started getting tight and it just twisted right off. So not a problem. I'll show you guys where that is. It's a little bit tricky to get to, but I can fix it. I ordered another fitting. It's in a bad location, but a not horrible location because I think I can get in there with an easy out and remove it. I have some really good snap-on easy outs. Matt didn't buy any other brand, so I have my own snap-ons. I'll bring those in. Anyway, let's see if we can see it. I think I can show you with the flashlight. See if you can see it, Mike. So it's right there. See where my finger's pointing right there? Let's see. Right. You see it right there? Yeah, so that's where it's broken off. So then I can get an easy out in there and a ratchet and a socket right through here and get that out. because that's going to, otherwise I have to use a right angle drill and drill it out and tap it, and that's just extra work. So there's just enough room to get it out. But anyway, I have a new fitting coming from Summit, and once that gets here, I can take that out, and then the catch can will be done. I can put the front bumper cover back on, put the under panels back on, and if I can get the rear bumper done today, then I just have this left in the morning, and that's done for a while. The Evo will be good for a little while. And then we still have the frame rail, or not frame rail, fuel rail to do. And Matty of course needs an external, pressure regulator that he can adjust for all his boosts and overfueling and underfuelings or whatever. Anyway, so that's going on at another time. Not sure why, but I think he said it's just because it said NASCAR. You had to have that. So that's going on too at some point. These are going to be fuel lines, return line for the pressure regulator. So basically you have fuel coming in, and this is the fuel return, and then this goes to a vacuum line, goes here. So anyway, what else is there, Michael? I'm trying to think if there anything else. These are our AN fittings that we have left. So that's I think we're up to speed. And tomorrow, fix that fitting, put the new one in, put the last line it goes right here to the catch can, get that in, put the front bumper cover back on, put the transmission mount back on, and that's it for now. Then I have other projects to do. Matt's shed being one of them. A big tree fell on it, so I have that to fix and build myself a shed. Well, build us a shed right out here. So anyway,
cool, Mike. So we'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted. Back at it tomorrow. Hopefully done tomorrow. I've wanted to finish today, except that stupid fitting broke off. So I was a little butt tickled about that. That wasn't very good. It bummed me out. As soon as I just felt it get soft, I'm like, oh, it's starting to go easy. Nope, right off. Anyhow, all right, so just about done, ready to transfer everything over. Last piece to take off is this here. I've got the wiring all unclipped, so I've got to take these screws out. This bracket for the license plate for the domestic bumper gets cut off. So I'm gonna take this off, clip these off, and then I'll relocate this centerpiece and the wire harness over to that bumper. Also, the other pieces that I showed you where I drilled the rivets out, there's a right and a left here, so I'll install those. And then we can test fit the bumper, make sure it works all right. Oh, there's one other bracket too. There's an offset bracket that comes off of the body down low and comes up. I think I've got to use that too. Matt ordered some of those parts from Japan, so I think we need to use that too. It's like a stiffener. I don't know where it goes yet. I think it goes, actually I don't see where it would go on this one. So it's got to go right here on this lower half right here. It goes here. And then there's a tab, it's a clip that screws to here to the body of the car, and that, I guess it probably keeps the bumper from flapping around since this bumper hangs down lower. So anyway, keep you updated. I'm gonna keep on going. A little pry and that'll pop loose. Jeez. I'm gonna save this bracket just in case we ever want to go back to OE. We could just use a screw and a nut and put this back together if we had to. So I just cut it off with a grinder. We're not gonna be able to do that. Come on, there we go. That side. Okay. All right, we'll keep that that can go in the used parts pile. And now this can go back on the bumper. Okay. So this goes in here. Basically it goes right here. And then we have to, it's supposed to go here. Oh wait. It would help if I didn't have it upside down. I believe I'd have it upside down. No, actually I don't. I think it goes this way. Yeah, there's a screw right there. Screw right there, that's where it goes. Just like that. All right, so I gotta get the other pieces cleaned off and installed. This all gets riveted. This doesn't get riveted on, but these do. All right, so these are a 532 rivet. aluminum rivet. I was going to use the Milwaukee rivet tool, but I feel like I want to do this one by hand. Since we're going through plastic, I can feel like I have a little better feel. I think there's nine of them per side. I'm going to use up all the rivets in that bag. Riveting. Riveting content, Mike. Riveting. Just riveting. Get it?
It really is.
Riveting
Really
content.
Just,
Mike, it's the dad jokes that really get everybody, you know? Okay, that's that side. Oh, this is the last rivet here. So that's in. So now I've got to put that little cross piece in here and get the wiring kind of tidied up. And then I've got a couple little brackets to put on the car. One's that little stiffener. There's a bracket that goes here that I believe also either gets screwed or riveted in. I have to look. And then there's a little tab that comes up here and screws somewhere to the car. I gotta figure that out too. But I think I'll dry fit it up there, get this piece on, get it kind of set up there and see what it looks like. See, hopefully the muffler sticks out a little bit now rather than tucked in now that we're JDM. So anyway, to be continued. All right, so back on the rear bumper. This is the new JDM license plate light bracket. So I installed these, the two lights in it, and then it comes with this flap, which kind of keeps it from being having a void here. I think it sits kind of like this in the bumper. Anyway, it comes with light bulbs, ready to go. So this screws on. Let's walk over, see how it screws into the bumper cover.
You just riveted that on?
I riveted it on, yep. And we are officially out of rivets. So I have to rivet this bottom piece on next. So we're gonna have to go to my favorite store of all time, Depot, and get some, see if this has to get riveted here. This is like a stay to keep this rigid. And I think there's another piece of little offset bracket. I have to look and see how that goes. But I know this looks like it goes, oh yeah, this goes here, I bet you. It's like that. So, what do you know, Maddie, professional shopper Maddie ordered all the right parts from Japan. He's pretty good. He's pretty well versed in purchasing items. So let's plug this in right now, might as well since we're here. Oh boy, I hope these plugs are the same.
This bracket we didn't show, but what happened here?
So that bracket, this bracket here, just these three screws, and then it has little 10mm bolts here, or the head's 10. Anyway, this bolts to these pieces that I riveted in before. So it kind of slides in, nestles in, and then there's some alignment pins here and here. So this actually pokes through the car, and there's nuts on the inside of the trunk that hold this part of the bumper cover on. So yeah, so let's get this plugged in here. All right, that's in and that's in. So now we just need to find a couple of screws, which I know we have because Matt bought a million screws. We have our kits up there and find some nice screws for that. That takes care of that. Then all we have to do is rivet this in where it goes, and then I'm going to tie up, this gets plugged back into the car. These are for the old US spec marker lights we're not using anymore, so I will tie these up, tape these ends up. There's no real way to unplug them. Nope, so I'll tape them up and tie them up so they're out of the way, and then we can try to test fit the bumper. So let's go get some rivets, Mike. I need some 532 rivets for this. Important. So there's little holes here that there's pins on the bumper that it kind of fits into. Actually, it's here. Yeah, and then, oh no, that's the bolt hole. These are the 2 pins, and there's a bolt that goes through here. So we got to kind of slide in and up. And then, I don't know what this is. Hang on a second. Oh, that's an insert. So that's where we threw a bolt through there. So I'm just bundling up this wiring that's not used anymore. So I've unplugged the socket for the marker light, the rear marker. Unplug that. So I taped over the plug so water can't get in the plug. This gets plugged into the factory harness in the car when we put the bumper back on. I'm gonna tie this all up neat and tidy so that way it's not flopping around back here. And then we'll slide the bumper on. Yeah, it kind of, you'll see when it gets on there. See these little pins here, Mike? It's gonna have to go forward. You see where these go through here. JDM, yo. All right. Okay. Look better? Okay. Takes care of that.
The hard part is just like
getting it prepped, getting it ready. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a screw here, goes there. And then there's one under here. And then there's one here. And that's pretty much it up on there. And then there's 4 along the back here. And then there's one down behind this washer fluid reservoir. You can see it here. It goes right there. So there's one on the other side just like that. And that's the screw here. This goes here. You see it? It goes right here. And that's pretty much what holds it on. And then you can see now the pins that are showing through are the alignment pins. So we had those little rubber washers on, those insulators. So that's that. Yeah, it's gonna look good. So let me button this up and then we'll put the headlights in and then it'll be done. I mean headlights, taillights. Okay, let's put the headlights in the backside. Matt likes to drive in reverse. You know what I meant, Mike. Let's see, this is the final test for alignments. Yeah, that's pretty good, dude. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. It looks a lot better.
Oh yeah.
The exhaust looks right now. So the only thing we have to do is the plate, because American US plates are different sizes than the Japanese plates. Japanese plates are skinny and longer. We'll have to do something with how we mount the plate, because if the bottom holes in the plate will work and it puts the plate way up here, but you can't run a plate frame because it's too tall then. So we can either re-drill the frame, or not the frame, but the license plate, put different holes in it, still run a plate frame and have 2 maybe stainless bolts in a different spot. Because it kind of, I don't have a plate now. Bryce had a plate out, but we were looking at it. It's just a little off, but that's just because the plate sizes are different. But I'm sure we can make it look nice. Yeah, looks good. Oh, there's one piece we still need to put on. Matt did order this piece from Japan and it came painted and it doesn't really match the car. So the thought was to see how it looks on here, because it's much lower, you know? So it's for the tow hook cover here. So I don't think it'll look that great. I think it needs to be black, but that's up to Maddie to decide. Kind of does look black from this angle, I guess. It's not that noticeable. But we can always have, what's his name? Jose. He can paint it if we want to. But anyway, that's it. That's all there's left to do. Anyway, so that's it. It's done. Looks great, I think. It's a big improvement, especially for this, because that looked dopey the way it was. Fitment's good. Color matches pretty well. Yeah, he will be. Looks cool. All right, that's a wrap then.